Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So we'll be reacting to The View today, and it says Candace Owens destroys Whoopi of The View and leaves her insanity. Let's check it out.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea. Now, I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you?
Candace Owens absolutely tears apart the hosts of All The View, including Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. She doesn't hold back in exposing their flawed arguments. Be sure to like today's video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel.
Welcome back. For today's Counterpoint segment, I wanted to discuss the recent Supreme Court abortion case. Honestly, this isn't even about whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. I just do not like bad arguments. And the arguments that are coming from the left right now are absolutely bonkers. So let's start with absolutely bonkers, Joy Behar.
It's a very interesting schism that goes on here because on the one hand, sex sells everywhere. I mean, you can't see an aspirin commercial without somebody having sex. Mm-hmm. You cannot turn on any program, especially on streaming, where people are having, there's soft porn everywhere now. Right. They encourage all of that. It sells everything. Sex sells. Yeah. And yet when it comes to the reality of pregnancy, this particular group of people on the right in this country and these religious zealots do not understand the reality of what happens when you have sex.
I don't think she knows that it's not pronounced sex, but we'll pretend that there's an H somewhere in there. For counterpoint number one, I want to say, yes, Joy Behar, you are correct. Sex is everywhere. Our culture is sick. That isn't an argument, that's a diagnosis. We have an increasingly sick culture here in America. Religious zealots and or people on the right very much understand that reality. We understand that when a culture promulgates promiscuity, it leads to people engaging in unfulfilling, unprotected sex. Far from your assessment that we don't understand what happens when you have sex, we understand exactly what happens. Children are the consequence. Life is the consequence. It would seem to me that it's the atheist zealots, the ones who have normalized sex-laden aspirin commercials, that don't quite understand what happens when you have unprotected sex. And then, when they find out, they go, whoops, well, good thing I learned in health class that I can just get an abortion to deal with it. Did you know, Joy, that before federally funded sex ed programs in school, which sprang up in the 1970s, and before Roe v. Wade in 1973, teenage pregnancy rates in this country were declining over a period of 12 years. Maybe what we on the right understand is that there is such a thing as sexually transmitted insanity, the normalization of non-committal sex, which is pervasive in our culture and in our schools, and it serves no one, least of all the young women who wind up pregnant and are pressured to make a life-altering emotional decision that is packaged to them as the responsible thing to do. I believe that you and the ladies that sit beside you contribute daily to that toxic culture of lies.
Candace is just laying down the facts. Those of us on the right, especially the religious.
If a woman or a man don't want a child, please use protection or birth control. Be cool. I beg you. Use it. So that it will do you especially with the lady, to do you a whole lot of good, because at the end of the day, the man might even deny the pregnancy. Yes. That is why you see most homes don't have daddies in their house. So sometimes, as I'm here, I'm not even blaming the young girls that are even doing abortion, to be frank, because I think there are no guidance, family guidance to guide the girl, to advise the girl, and so many. And I feel maybe she's not even ready. But if you're not ready to, don't have unprotected sex.
Understand that sex is overly prevalent in today's society. And yes, we fully grasp the consequences of sex. Creating a baby, which is actually a blessing. But remember this, Joy Behar, it's your side. the Democrats who act shocked when babies are conceived from unprotected sex and then suggest using abortion, essentially killing a baby as health care or birth control. No thanks. We understand the consequences of sex, which is why we advocate waiting until you're married and ready for a baby, because that's the natural outcome of sex. The delusion isn't on our side, it's on yours.
Now let's hear from your co-host.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea.
Well, I'd love to see the same energy when it comes to biological men dressing up as women and claiming they can get pregnant because they're trans women. Something tells me Whoopi wouldn't be singing the same tune in that conversation, but we'll leave that aside for now.
Now, I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you? How dare you?
All right, counterpoint to you, Whoopi Goldberg. Number 2. Did you guys know back at home, by the way, that in 2017, Whoopi Goldberg received a GLAAD Media Award for executively producing a show called Strut? It was a transgendered modeling show. She won the award for speaking up for trans rights and against those trying to roll them back. Oopsies! This is why I love intersectionality. Here we are in the middle of a vicious culture war where a bunch of men playing dress up and trying to convince people that they are women and can give birth, and they can chest feed, and here comes along Whoopi Goldberg, and she's so fired up about abortion that she accidentally tells the truth. Only women can give birth. Only women have a womb that is capable of carrying a child. They say, never get in the way of our enemies when they are making a mistake. They also say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I say, thanks, Whoopi, for proving that even idiots are capable of understanding basic biology. And for the last counterpoint, which I believe is so important in terms of this abortion debate, we currently have a culture where men are routinely accused of not stepping up to the plate. In fact, just this week, it was announced that only 18% of households in America today feature a nuclear family unit, a married mother and a father raising children. Make no mistake, father absence is one of the biggest, if not the biggest epidemic that we face in this country today. But why are we expecting men to step up to the plate when we have women that are telling them that they don't have to? Why should men step up when the message that is ringing out loud and clear from mainstream culture and media is that beyond sex, men have no responsibility or say in the lives of their children? I mean, how on earth can someone logically explain how a baby is 100% the property of a woman as it grows inside of her, then the moment that the baby is born, it requires a 50-50 split? Can a man stand before a judge at a child support hearing and say, Your Honor, it was her body, and it was therefore her choice to have this child? The answer, of course, is no. Obviously not. That would be stupid. If a man is colloquially referred to as a deadbeat dad for taking no part or responsibility in a child's life as he or she grows up, then the same must also be true for a woman who wants no part or responsibility in a child's life as it grows inside of her. My body, my choice is a pervasive, deadbeat mom argument that accomplishes nothing but excusing too many men from
Does Whoopi Goldberg even know the difference between a man and a woman? Since sex should be a private act for a mature adult. If you don't want to get pregnant, you have 2 options. Don't have sex or use birth control. I've said it before. Period. How dare Whoopi Goldberg tell the future that they are not allowed the right to have a life? Is it their fault? Is it their fault to be formed in the womb? Oh. Like, as always, Candace Owens directly addresses the issue.